Welcome to Tallish Thickish. If you're new here, I'm Sarah and I appreciate you being here. If you're a returning supporter, thank you so much for your continued engagement and encouragement. Today I have for you a Paragon try-on haul. If you are off this Labor Day, I hope you are enjoying your last bit of summer. Today I have a try-on haul marathon for you. I'm going to be filming Paragon, Buff Bunny Collection, and then Kill Crew. I'm a little bit behind on filming for you because I unexpectedly had surgery about a week and a half ago. I had an appendectomy and I wasn't really feeling filming last weekend, and I really was uncomfortable with anything pushing up against my incision area or my operated area. So I hope that you can forgive me, but I am here and I'm excited to do a lot of work for you today. Since I had surgery, my measurements are definitely a little bit different than the last try-on haul, so I'll do a quick review of what I'm measuring today. As a reminder, I am 5'9". I have a 31-inch inseam. I am measuring at 43.5 inches around my bust, 38 inches around my waist, 47 inches around my hips, and the thickest part of my quads are measuring at 27.5 inches today. Something I learned about my body type in the last year, I've had 2 surgeries since November of last year, and something that I've learned about my body is that when I step away from my normal weight training and my normal programming, I tend to get a little bit looser in my quads and in my tummy area. I rarely gain weight up around my chest. I gain muscle really easily around my chest, but I don't gain extra fat around my chest. It seems like the first area where I get fluffy is around my waist, and then that's followed by my thighs. I just thought I'd share that because my goal is always to help women that have a similar body type to me. So there is a quick review of my sizing. Before I get into the pieces, I did want to share with you what I paid for everything. The first order I placed with Paragon, I did not use a discount code, and the second order I placed, I did. So I'll put on the screen my orders so that you can see the prices. There are some items that you'll see listed that I have returned. If you have any questions about any of those items, please let me know. I am excited to finally have a try-on haul for you that does not feature pink or purple. I do love pink and purple, but I do wear other colors. I've got some really beautiful colors from Paragon for you today. I am featuring 2 of their primary fabrics. So they have rotating or limited edition fabrics that come out, but I decided to try the ones that they restock. So today's Paragon try-on haul features items in their RecStretch fabric as well as their Reluna fabric. I hope I'm saying that right. Everything in today's try-on haul is going to be in a size large or extra large. I have 2 bra and short sets for you, and then I've got a bodysuit at the end. And if you missed it, I did review a bra and flare combo from Paragon in my last review. If you're curious about that, you can refer to my channel and view it there. Alright, I got lots of work to do today, so let's jump into it. So up first, the RecStretch Defy bra in a size extra large, and these are the RecStretch Sculptseam Plus Pocket Short featuring a 6-inch inseam, and the name of this color is Juicy. This is in the RecStretch fabric. This is more of the performance fabric from Paragon, if I understand it correctly. This is a nylon spandex blend. This is very breathable. This is meant to be sweat wicking. It is very, very stretchy, but it does have a lot of snap back, so I really love that. With this material, I have noticed a little bit of pilling. It hasn't been excessive, and it's only been in one area. I've worn these shorts multiple times and I haven't seen an increase in the initial pilling, so I'm really happy about that. And I'll go ahead and just say that I am pretty happy with the price that I can pay for Paragon items. If you missed it, I had screenshots at the beginning that showed you what I paid, and I would say for the prices that I paid with the discount code, I am not unhappy so far. I've done my best to wear these pieces as much as possible before the review, and once again, the shorts I've worn a couple of times and I'm not noticing any extra wear and tear than the initial peeling I noticed around the waistband, and it wasn't very significant or noticeable in my opinion. I have a light shedder in the house and I haven't noticed her hair sticking to this material. I have worn this material inside and outside, and I will say I do appreciate the breathability. I also appreciate having something that is thinner but that still makes me feel supported throughout. I don't feel like this is really great great for cellulite. I think your cellulite will still show through in the lighter colors, but I like having a thin material that still makes me feel held in. So I'm really liking the RecStretch fabric. There's just a little recap on that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick color comparison with you. This is one of the first years where I really got into teals and aquas. I have Warhead and Mar from Buff Bunny collection on top there, and then I think I have Electric Blue and Tropical Blue next. So if you have any of these colors in your collection or anything similar and you like a little monochromatic teal or aqua moment, definitely recommend grabbing this color. I think it's very beautiful. Let's go ahead and start with talking about this sports bra. So the sports bra I have worn multiple times, and I'm glad I'm turned around because the only thing that I had an issue with that no longer is an issue were these back straps. So initially I did have some rolling during movement with those straps, but since I have worn this bra multiple times, I'm no longer getting any kind of rolling or movement from those straps, and I really appreciate it. As a gal with a really broad back, I am also very comfortable with these straps. I do feel them, but I wouldn't say that they're digging. I think it's just because they're a little bit wider, but since they are wider, I do have more support. They are still pretty stretchy. So again, this is a size extra large. I am pretty broad back, but I have a lot of room and flexibility there. This is definitely one of the more comfortable sports bras I've tried on in a minute. This is something that if I saw it in a neutral color, I would definitely purchase it because I would be happy to wear this as a casual bra around the house or running errands. I really appreciate the simplicity in this particular design, and I really like how open it is and unrestricting it is. All right, let's talk about the front of this sports bra. So we've got kind of a square line. It does suit my wider frame pretty well. It comes down to the side, so if you're somebody who's nervous about side coverage, this may be a little bit lower than you like. I do not like having restriction on the sides. I really like going hard on push day, and I don't like anything that's squeezing against the chest pump. So I really appreciate just how much room and flexibility I have in both the back and the front of this sports bra. However, it doesn't come with a whole lot of coverage. It is like a medium coverage bra. You're not going to spill out or anything like that if you're doing any kind of row movements or bent over movements. I'm a 38D, and I feel like I get about a medium to high support in this. I'm not somebody that requires a lot of support. I have a wider set chest, and I'm mostly back less boob, so I get a really good amount of support from this sports bra. Because the design is so simple and this material is sweat wicking, this is also one of the most breathable bras that I have tried on so far. This band right here at the bottom I almost forgot to mention, and that's because it's giving me support, but it's not giving me any kind of discomfort. I have a lot of room in the sides there, and again, I'm 43.5 inches around the bust, but I'm not that much smaller in my under bust, so definitely something to keep in mind if you're somebody that has a broader frame like me up top. I heavily recommend giving these bras a try. If you're somebody that loves color, definitely check out Paragon's website and see if they have a color that you like. This is something that I will be grabbing again. I have tried on probably 16 plus sports bras from Buff Bunny collection, which is a brand that tries to center around inclusivity, but I have only found one that truly fits me and that I'm comfortable in. So if you are shaped like me, know that this is definitely one I highly recommend. I think the price with the discount code is really fair. I forgot to mention, if you are somebody though that really likes to have cups, maybe BYOC with this particular bra. These are pretty thin and flimsy. The ones that come with it, honestly, probably like the cheapest thing that you could get for a cup pad with a sports bra. I don't really need them. I get hot at the gym really fast. I don't really need to use them. So I think that's worth mentioning though if you are somebody that is a little bit more conscious without them. So again, this is the Defy bra in the color Juicy in a size extra large, and I will be happy to purchase more of these in the future. All right, let's move into the shorts. So these are the Empower Sculptseam Plus pocket short with a 6-inch inseam. These shorts do feature an elasticated scrunch seam in the back. To be completely honest, I feel like these shorts are some of the most flattering on the glutes, at least on my glutes. I really like in the back how they have this seam. This is a pretty thick seam that comes up from in between the cheeks and goes around. I could be wrong because I don't make garments for a living, but I feel like this thick seam that hugs around my waist at the perfect spot does a lot for a really good fit throughout the waistband. And it also lends to a very comfortable seam that is elasticated and running in between my glutes. If you're like me and you're sensitive to things riding up there or being uncomfortable, and you also like having something that's flattering, so far I'm pretty happy with these. I wouldn't say that I like wearing these out and about or casually. I think that this material feels better on my skin when my skin's a little bit dewy and a little bit sweaty. Otherwise, these shorts can kind of slide too much in the back and that scrunch will ride up and get a little bit uncomfortable. I have found that both with these RecStretch shorts and with the Reluna shorts that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. Overall, I would still say this is one of the most comfortable scrunch, sculpting, glute separating situations that I've tried so far on this channel. I also feel like the way that this cuts up here is very flattering on me. I really like the way that this material hugs and supports, but it's not overly compressive, and it's not overly compressive where you want that the least, which is in the waistband. This is like a double layered waistband, and I don't know if you can see, but there is kind of like two pieces to it. So there's this thicker portion down here where it does have a lot of elastication, and then it has just where it's basically just like a folded over layer of the material up top, and it doesn't have any extra elastic layer in there. So I'm hoping you can see that, or I did a decent job at describing that. If you're like me and you have a short torso and you don't like super compressive waistbands, it can be kind of tricky. I have recently started to steer away from seamless short and leggings because when I fold over a seamless waistband, it adds so much extra compression on my belly, and there definitely comes a time of the month where I just don't want that. And so I'd rather just invest in shorts that feel good throughout the month regardless of how fluffy I'm feeling. And I would say Paragon shorts with the waistband, I'm really enjoying how they have this lower area for support that you can kind of guide, especially with the seams. I do kind of have to work with it, but when I get that waistband in place, I just take this little extra folded over layer and fold it over again. I think when I started this video, I sat down and folded the waistband over where the shorts naturally rolled. They seem to stay in place pretty well after I do that. Again, the waistband just stays in place better if your skin is a little bit dewy. So if you're a girl that gets sweaty in the gym, highly recommend this material, highly recommend the waistband if you've got a shorter torso. I love the amount of support that I'm getting from the waistband, but I'm not getting any uncomfortable compression, and that says a lot right now. Once again, I had an appendectomy like a week and a half ago, and one of the reasons why I was nervous to film a try on haul was because of the compression right along the area where I have incisions. And I'm very comfortable in these shorts. I sized up to an extra large in these shorts because I heard they were more compressive, and I definitely wouldn't be sizing down to a size large. If I had a size large, I would definitely not be comfortable right now. So I'm glad I went with my larger size because the compression is really perfect. It's gonna stay in place. If I'm doing bent over movements like RDLs, I think I'm gonna be just fine. Like I said, it's gonna roll, but once it finds its place, it's really gonna stay there, and it's not going to be an uncomfortable digging situation, and it's not gonna be a situation where you come up and your waistband kind of flops over. So really happy with the Paragon waistband so far. Really happy with how they are looking on the glutes. I don't find that they roll up on my quads. These are more of a shimmy situation. I will say for a 6-inch inseam, I do think that they are looking closer to like a 5-inch. So if you're like me and you've got bigger quads, know that they are definitely going to ride up, but they're not going to cause any discomfort. These are definitely some of the more comfortable shorts I've tried on my quads. These are not squat proof if you have something patterned underneath. I do have on a Victoria's Secret nude colored thong underneath, and I did notice this, and I don't know if you've noticed on camera, but the wording Victoria's Secret is white up front, and it has been showing through. If you reach for the lighter colors in this material, definitely wear something skin tone underneath. Patterns will likely show through in the lighter colors. My only complaint, and honestly it's just being nitpicky with this particular short, are the pockets. I don't really love how it just kind of squares off right here. I would prefer to see the pocket go all the way down, but it's honestly just a little nitpicky detail for me. The pockets still do what they need to do, and they can hold a cell phone need be or car keys, and they'll keep them in place. So they're still very functional. I'm just not the biggest fan of the way they look. Once again, this is RecStretch in the color Juicy. Both pieces are in a size extra large. I am very happy with my purchase. I have already tried another pair of RecStretch shorts in the color Apricot, and I will say I like how vibrant Paragon colors are. Sometimes they're a little too much. I did try on something in the Hot Tropic color, and that was a little too bright for my taste, but I really appreciate how bright the colors are. So definitely going to be a repeat customer from Paragon, and I will be continuing to try the RecStretch material, especially to see how it wear and tears over time. Very happy with this purchase. Highly recommend. I'm going to do a quick squat test for you, and then I will meet you in the next outfit. All right, up next, this is our first outfit in the Reluna material. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a recycled polyester spandex blend. This is a brushed material. This material reminds me most of Butter from Buff Bunny collection. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that I like this material a lot better. I feel like this is better for the gym. I think that it also feels just a little bit more breathable. This feels like something that has a little bit more of a performance feel, but not too much. It's still soft, it's still brushed, it's still very thin and very breathable. I feel like I get less sweat marks. I still get sweat marks in both the Butter material from Buff Bunny collection and in Reluna, but I think that I get less in this particular material. Paragon acknowledges that this material will collect some pilling, and so far I haven't really noticed any on this particular pair of shorts or on the sports bra, whereas with Buff Bunny collection, sometimes you will wear a pair of Butter shorts, and after the very first wear you will notice pilling. So far I've worn these shorts twice and the sports bra twice, and I haven't noticed anything. I'm also not noticing that it's collecting any lint or pet hair. I was really excited to get a set in a material like this that is a nice soft brush stretchy material that's breathable, but that has a nice supportive waistband. So that is the Reluna material. Let me go ahead and get into this outfit that I have on for you. So this outfit is in the color Supercharged. This color most reminds me of light denim blue marl from Honor Active. I don't have it anymore. I did recently get rid of my last few pieces in that color, but it reminds me most of that, and I'm really excited to have just a nice pretty sky blue color. I'm really drawn to this color, especially in the winter time when it's cold outside. I like to always wear color. I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of these pieces here the next few months. Up top I have the Infinity bra in a size extra large, and then on bottom I have the Reluna Sculptseam Plus 6-inch shorts. I'll talk about the sports bra first. So the Infinity bra is called that because these straps completely come out and you can arrange them however you want to. Obviously you could wear it as a bandeau if the straps come off. It does come with a third strap that you could even tie like around your neck if you wanted to wear a halter. I'll turn around so you can see the back. There are also attachments in the back, so you can really maneuver it however you want to, whatever your preference is, whatever you're feeling that day. So if you're a girly that loves options, I would definitely recommend this sports bra. I was excited to try this sports bra because one of my favorite sports bras I've tried on so far is the Everyday Bandeau Bralette from Honor Active. The only thing I've really had an issue with that particular bra though is how far it comes up. That one does ride up pretty high in the armpit area. This one from Paragon is absolutely perfect for somebody who is shaped like me. I am not uncomfortable. This hits me perfectly, so where I'm gonna have plenty of room for a chest pump. I'm not gonna have any kind of hindrance and push movements. I like that it's low enough that I have just a little bit of cleavage coming out, but when I'm doing bend over over movements, it's still going to be more of like a medium to high coverage sports bra on me. Because of the amount of coverage and the fact that it's a bandeau, I also get about medium to high support, and you may be able to modify that since the straps that come with the bra are adjustable. So if you like wearing things a little bit tighter, you definitely have that as an option. I love a very simple cross in the back. I love when I can get a cross in the back where I don't have digging into my traps, and I definitely don't have that here. I like doing that because I get plenty of support in the front and no discomfort in the back. This is again a sports bra I'm going to be happy to purchase from Paragon in the future. I also like that this bra, even though it's similar to the bralette from Honoractive, the one that they used to sell, this material is stretchier and more breathable. So the fact that it's made from that material does make it more comfortable than that one overall. So if you are somebody who is a fan of that and maybe you had just the one complaint of it was a little too high, I definitely recommend giving this one a try. And once again, I have taken out the cup pads. They were the same cup pads that I showed you. Moving on to the shorts. These are the Reluna Sculptseam Plus 6-inch shorts. I have mentioned that this material is very much like butter from Buff Bunny collection. I think the quality is a little bit better. It's not as soft in my opinion. I feel like this fabric lends better to function and better quality so far, just the initial impression. And I really like the fit of these 6-inch shorts with the elasticated seam so much better than I like the 7-inch aggressive scrunch shorts from Buff Bunny collection in the butter material. And I'm really happy to tell you why. I'm going to start with the waistband. The waistband is probably one of the biggest reasons why I like these shorts, and I'm liking how things from Paragon fit me a lot better. Again, I have a short torso and I always have to fold material down. I like that I don't have a lot of material that I have to fold down in these, so the rise is high. So if you are a girl with a really long torso, that's something to keep in mind, that I'm not finding this to be super high rise, more just high rise. I like that this particular waistband has a really good amount, you can hear that, of snapback, and this does not roll down. I'll do some quick little RDL bent over movements for you. It's gonna stay in place so much better than the butter one does, at least for me from Buff Bunny collection. I really like how this fits. I really like how it feels. I like that I have actual support, and I do have a decent amount of tummy control. I feel like in the butter, I have to size up to an extra large to avoid really uncomfortable digging from the scrunch. These are actually in a size large. I do feel this elasticated scrunch more than I did in the last pair of shorts that were in a size extra large. I'm getting ahead of myself though. I want to talk a little bit more about this waistband. So this waistband underneath are two really thick seams, and those seams do follow along to the back, and I think again that these are just super flattering. So far I think Paragon shorts are the most flattering shorts I've tried on for my body, both the RecStretch ones I just had on and these. I really love them. Those seams really sit on my waist in a very comfortable and flattering way, and again they are pretty thick, and I think that that helps the shorts stay in place. They really help keep this supportive waistband in a flattering and comfortable place. Probably the most comfortable pair of bottoms that I could possibly wear if I'm concerned about tummy control, but I want something that's gonna stay on my waist. I would definitely say Paragon did a really great job with these shorts. I almost forgot to mention, because it's really not an issue in any of the bottoms I have from Paragon, and again so far I've tried 2 pairs of shorts and a pair of flares. I don't have any camel toe issues. There's not a lot I have to do to avoid it. I feel like when it comes to seamless shorts, or even when it comes to any of the shorts from Buff Bunny collection, to be honest, sometimes I do have to make sure that everything is in place to avoid camel toe. Whereas when I put on a pair of Paragon bottoms, it's really a non-issue. It's not something that I have to worry about. It's not something that you've got to place material in the right place to avoid. So I really love that about Paragon bottoms. I do want to talk about the inseam and the seams on the legs. So again, I did size down. I heard that this was a lot stretchier, and it definitely doesn't have as much compression to it, so you could go with your smaller size in the Reluna material. But I will say, if you have fuller quads like me, you may not like that you can feel that seam. Now some gals I know actually like feeling that, because they know that that's not going to be rolling and it's not going to be going anywhere where they're moving, and it definitely doesn't in my smaller size. So if you like just feeling a little something there, you're going to be fine in your smaller size. size, but I think I might be more comfortable personally in a size extra large because I don't really like anything digging in my quads. And in the size large, it's just enough to annoy me. I think this length is absolutely perfect. Somehow I feel like the 6-inch shorts here are longer on me than the last pair of 6-inch shorts were, but that's probably just because this material is known to be a little bit more stretchy and that last one was known to be more compressive. Quickly talk about the back here. I don't know how well you can see the seam detailing on the back. This does have two very flattering seams that, as I mentioned before, kind of hover on your curves, and this does have that elasticated scrunch seam. Since these are in a smaller size, I don't really have as much of that scrunch to grab, but it is not that uncomfortable. This isn't something I could wear all day, but for the gym, this isn't something that is going to cause me to have an uncomfortable time for my workout. Once again, this is a thinner material, so the lighter colors are gonna have a little sheerness to them if you're wearing something patterned underneath. So again, just go with something that's skin tone. I will insert a quick squat test and then I'll meet you in the last outfit. Last outfit here for you today. So this again is in the Reluna material that I had on. This is the Glide short suit with a 6-inch inseam and the color Rave, which is a really pretty mint color. I'll do a quick color comparison for you. I am not the biggest green girly. I love this mint color, but I'm not too sure what I would wear it with outside of other greens and pinks. So if you have any ideas, please let me know because I'd like to go and reach for the short set in this color, but I don't know what to pair with it. These are some things I might. So up top we have Lucky Charm from Buff Bunny collection, and then we have Jade, and I think on the very bottom I have Mint from Honor Active. So those are some colors that I think might pair really nicely with it. If you have other suggestions, please let me know. This short suit is in a size extra large, and so I do want to quickly compare how this is fitting around my quads versus the size large shorts that I had on in this material. Now that I have on the size extra large, I honestly feel this seam just as much. So I think when I go to purchase another set in the Reluna shorts, I will probably just get the size large. This is a lighter color, and I'm also getting just a little bit of sheerness where I have that printing on my underwear, and so I'm also getting the same amount of sheerness. I don't think that wearing a larger size is doing anything necessarily to help with that. Let's talk about this short suit. We'll start with the front. It is pretty simple. It has a really large scoop kind of squared off neckline. It does sit pretty wide. Keep in mind I do have a wider frame and broader shoulders, so I would say these straps are sitting pretty wide. They're also rolling. I really don't like this part of the short suit. I feel like if they came up with a different option up top, I might like it, but I don't like the way these straps are kind of digging into my shoulders and how widely they're sitting. I don't really like the way that they're rolling. Let's move into this shelf portion. So this does have a shelf liner inside. It does have a nice elasticated band that is offering a fair amount of support. I'd say about a medium level of support on me. I do have the cut pads in since I will be keeping this item, and you can see how kind of wrinkly and crinkly they are. Definitely not my favorite, but again, for the discounted prices that you can buy Paragon, it doesn't really bother me, but I still think it's important to note. There's nothing super crazy going on with the front. It is very plain Jane. All of the lumps and bumps show through. That doesn't necessarily bother me. It wouldn't deter me from buying an item like this. What is deterring me from keeping an item like this is the back. So let's talk about these straps and how they are fitting in my back. They are, again, very wide set. They are digging a little bit. They have loosened since I put this on. I've been wearing this for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, and they are slightly more comfortable, but I just feel like they're too thick, too wide. I feel like they are gonna move. You would want to wear something like this on a back day, but if the straps are gonna roll out, then that's not gonna be super comfortable if you feel like your straps might roll off at any point. I'm also just not a fan of the design of having something coming right on the outside of my lats. I wasn't really paying attention when I purchased this. Had I noticed it ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have ordered this, because in my experience, that's just been very uncomfortable on me. This right here is pretty comfortable. I like that I can feel this and I feel like it's giving me support, but it's not doing any kind of digging. I do love how open the back is. I find the back very flattering. I do find it very comfortable where the 6-inch inseam hits my quads. And again, I don't have any camel toe issues. If you're you're not as broadly shouldered or broad back, maybe you're a little bit more petite and not too worried about how this is constructed in the back, I would still recommend giving this a shot. Personally, I really like having a bodysuit that is lower compression and high in comfort and very sweat wicking. I think that these come in handy in the summer. In my opinion, especially since I had my surgery, I find that I am wearing the Perform bodysuit I got this summer from Buff Bunny collection quite a bit since I have incisions in my belly. So I think this is a really great option for something lightweight if you are in the market for something that's a one and done, no worries, as long as you're not going to have the same issues that I'm having in the back. I think that wraps it up for the try on portion. I do want to mention that there is a return charge for Paragon. So it's $8 or $7 to ship your items back. They do give you some flexibility in a decent time window. I don't mind paying that price. I think that's on the higher end of what I want to pay for a return, but it's still not a fee that bothers me too much. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that to you before I let you go. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the comments below. As always, I really hope that you found this review helpful today. I'm really excited for the rest of filming that I have for you. Again, I've got some Buff Bunny collection. I'm going to be trying on the Miracle Seamless bottoms that recently came out, and I'll give you my honest, unsponsored opinion on those. And I've also got some Kill Crew, so some comfy clothes coming your way. Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting my channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next haul.